olwaleero twagala okwebaza bannaffe abatwegaseeko kulembeze baffe mu bitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo muze mubiraba nga batuukirira abantu baffe abamu babatiisatiisa bangi ne babajja mu lukalala lw'abalonzi abalala ne bagamba famire zaabwe omwana wamu ono mujje mu lwokaano omutakikola tujja kubalumba abalala ne bagamba kaakati tujja bagula buguzi kubanga gavumenti ya Mwai Museveni tekyalina kipya kyegamba bannayuganda tejja kukola ku nsonga zaabwe bannabyabufuzi abakulembeze ze boogerako kati mu kifo ky'okuzikolako ensonga ezo ez'enkizo amazzi enguudo amasannyalaze ebyobulamu ebyenjigiriza emirimu n'ebirala bibalemye okukolako kati kye bakola kati tutuukirire abantu aboogera ku nsonga zino tubatiisetiise tubajje mu nkalala z'abalonzi oba tubagulirire balekere awo okwogera ku nsonga zino. Buno bwonna butiitiizi bwa gavumenti eno kubanga atali mutiitiizi walibadde otuukirira bannansi n'obabulira puroguraamu yo nti kaakati bino bye tugenda okukola naye okimanyi nti bannayuganda tebajja kukkiririzaamu kubanga ozze obalimba emyaka 40 ebikulemye okukola togenda kubikola kati kwe kusalawo okukozesa obutiitiizi buno abantu bano babatiisetiise bagulirire abalala. In fact n'abamu be baparading eyo ti ono kati ng'ekakumiro twalabye ab'ekakumiro ab'ekasambya nga bagamba nti kakati bano be bachairpersoni bakunga abantu abo be baparadinze twabagoba dda twabajja ku bifo ebyo ebbanga eryayita tetulaba engeri gye batambulamu tetegeerekeka netuteekawo abantu abalala abasinga ku abo naye bino bikolwa bya butiitiizi gavumenti etya bannayuganda kubanga era obuwagizi bwe tulina mu bitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo kyovudde olaba bakola ebikolwa bino eryanyi lye bakozesa ku bawagizi baffe ku presidential candidate waffe mwalabye olunaku olw'eggulo ne bamulemesa okutuuka mu bifo by'alina okubeeramu akube campaign nti kale kaŋŋende neebake olina bookinzi okusula nti neeyo naye tujja kusulayo kati balinga abagamba nti olumaliriza Rale alina okusooka nkomewo e Kampala emagere naye nenkyaddemu asimbula ataddeyo agende Soroti kibagezaako otegeeza tujja kulemesa okutuuka woolina okutuuka naye ne woteeri gye wabuukinza okusula nayo so mbadde ngamba nti obutiitiizi bwa gavumenti eno bweyolesa mu lyanyi lye bakozesa. Abantu bano baali balowooza nti NUP yali mbuyaga ekunta nti era yaggwa n'akalulu akawedde ne bagenda okulaba buli gye tulaga ne Mwai Museveni gye bamuzaala mu Western Uganda ng'obuwagizi tulina bungi Karamoja wa ebitundu by'eggwanga eby'enjawulo kaakati ne batya olw'obutiitiizi obwo kyovudde olaba bakola effujjo lino lye bakola kandidate waffe buli kanaku mulaba engeri gye bamuyisa eggulo ne bakwata tiyagaasi ne bagikuba emmotoka ye yonna n'ebuna tiyagaasi ate bakikola kigendere nga baagala omukolako obulabe abawagizi baffe buli gye tulaga ne bwe kiba Rale era ne ku Rale zaffe ne batulumba otukolako effujjo lwakutya bannayuganda so bannayuganda bwe mulaba ebikolwa bino yes bitunyigiriza bitukola obubi naye tuddemu amaanyi baagala tugwemu amaanyi tuddemu amaanyi kubanga kitegeeza nti we tukutte we wali ekinyusi tunyweze buno obutiitiizi bwe bwolesa lwakubanga batidde balaba ekigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga kaakati muwala Mwai Museveni olw'obutiitiizi kubanga naye atunula n'alaba ekigenda mu maaso myaka 40 bingi ebimulemye okukula kivulwa bannansi bagamba nti atuwagala nkyukakyuka kati eno nga bwe tukolako effujjo eri ye nga mukama waabwe agala kubalaga nti ebyo byemukola bye bituufu kati yasuubiza n'okutta bannansi ti amasasi ge tulina buli musirikale alina amasasi 120 tujja batta bannansi ate kino baakikola mujjukira 2 batta abantu kati ne kaakano olw'obutiitiizi obumujjudde ng'alaba bannansi bamuvaako aga nti bannansi bano kambatiisetiise tujja kubatta ffe buli we tulaga Pulezidenti waffe agamba abantu ffe tubeere ba mirembe, obuyinza tugenda butwala mirembe, buli kye tukola kibeere mu mateeka. Bw'olaba omuntu ali mu ffe era ng'ayagala kanyuga jjinja oba ng'ayagala kukola kavuyo, oyo bamututaddemu buteesi, oyo si waffe. Bamututaddemu akola akavuyo, bali basobola okukola akavuyo ke baagala okukola. Ye ebadde message yaffe. Naye kati bo baasalawo nti bajja kukozesa eryanyi nakola fujjo. Ensangi zino ntera balaba abantu bangi abagamba bannansi, bannange tusalewo tukume emirembe, tukyuzinge peace. Bannayuganda eddembe baalisalawo dda lye baagala. Naye abasalawo okukola effujjo be bano bamukwata mmundu, ye gavumenti eno gye tuvuganya. Ate oluusi tebajja kukozesa mmundu zokka, ne bafuna n'agayaaye bagamba ze t-shirt zaabwe gakutte emiggo ne gakuba abantu. Kati eno message yali ebadde yaabo bamukwata mmundu. Kubanga bannayuganda bo baasalawo dda baagala mirembe. Era kyovuddola ne babasoomooza ne babakuba ne bakola ki, tebabaddiza. Naye basigala bagamba ye bannayuganda temukola fujjo. Baani abakola effujjo? Bannayuganda be bambala yunifoomu z'amagye nga bakutte emmundu ne bakuba abantu amasasi. Abo bakutte emiggo ne bakuba abantu abamu babadde t-shirt za Mwami Museveni. Abo bannayuganda ba bulijjo be mugamba nti abawagizi ba opposition, tuleme kubuzaabuza abantu. Bino ebikolwa bino eby'obutiitiizi tetugenda kukkiriza kututiisatiisa. So kino Mwami Museveni kye yagambye, tujja kubatta amasasi tulina mangi. Mu kifo ky'okukola bannansi be baagala okole, bikuleme kati osazeeyo kubatiisatiisa butiisatiisa. Tebajja kugula ddagala, tebajja kuzimba nguudo, tebajja kukola ku bya mirimu ebyenjigiriza n'ebirala, naye bajja kugula zimamba, zitanka, bagule amasasi nti tujja kubatta. Kati bannayuganda ekyo mukitegeere nti ero gavumenti ensonga zammwe tezifaako. Tebajja kukola ku nsonga eza service provision ezibaluma. Naye bajja kukozesa ssente bakozese eryanyi ery'amaanyi. Kyemuva mulaba supplementary budgets ne bazireeta, mulimu classified eza defense n'ebirala. Temujja kubeeramu nnyo byanjigiriza bya bulamu n'ebirala, naye essira baagala kuliteeka kukozesa lyanyi kubanga bamanyi bannansi babavaako dda. Kiba kitegeeza bwe tukutte ewali ekinyusi tunyweze. Ekisembayo era nga nakyo kyekuusa ku butiitiizi buno bwe mbadde njogerako. Mwami Museveni alaba nti eggwanga lyakyuka, abantu bakoowu. Mu Ssenyuganda gy'ava, e Karamojja, wayo n'ebitundu by'eggwanga byonna, wano mu Central, mu West, mu East, mu North, bonna balaga nti baagala nkyukakyuka. Kati olw'obutiitiizi obwo avuddeyo n'agamba nti abantu bano aba NUP banziba akalulu. Luli nno yagamba mutwamubba miliyoni emu ey'akalulu. Luno agamba nti nkizudde babba obululu miliyoni 2.7. Ne weebuuza abantu abakulira ebyokulonda gw'obalonda, lwaki tubagoba? In fact juzi yakazza bujja contract y'owekitiibwa Justice Simon Byabakama myezi mitono emabega. Kati oba ogamba nti ono omukulu yakulemberamu akakiiko akaleetera okubba akaluluko, lwaki ate contract ye ogizizza obujja? Lwaki abantu abo tobagoba? Kuba ogamba nti tebalina kye baakolawo ng'akaluluko kabbibwa. Obwo bwe butiitiizi kubanga alaba nti eggwanga lyonna ligamba lyagala nkyukakyuka. Kati alinga eyeteekateeka ng'akalulu kawedde, alaba Mwami Museveni alinga simanyi n'emizindaalo nagyo bagikwatamu. Kyembadde ngamba nti Mwami Museveni alinga ateekateeka eggwanga nti nga tumaze okumukuba akalulu ajja agambe nti kakati ku luli mulaba babba obululu bwange miliyoni 2.7, ku luno babbye obululu bwange nga miliyoni 6. Kubanga alaba ekigenda mu maaso era alaba nti obuwagizi tulina bungi, obululu tulina bungi. Kati alinga eyeteekateeka. Fenna ekyo kituzzaamu amaanyi kubanga atandise okukkiriza obuwagizi tabulina bwe butiitiizi buno bwayolesa abo babbiba obululu n'ebirala naki muzeeyi kakkana tukole bulungi akalulu owummule bulungi. Ne kino kye tuzze tugamba nti abantu bwe bamaliriza okulonda etteeka libakkiriza okuva ku polling station bayimirira ku mabbali meters 20 kati obalaba mutabani omwami Muhoozi kati alinga ye akulira akakiiko ebyokulonda alinga omwogezi w'akakiiko ebyokulonda muveewo n'abalala babyogera. Kakati ne mwami Museveni agamba nti twabba akalulu ke naffe tugamba yabba akalulu kaffe era neffe obujulizi weebuli ne zi videos weeziri. Kati abawagizi baffe bwamala okulonda ffenna babeere emabbali nga bayimiridde ku mabbali nga batunuulira ekigenda mu maaso. Kati kitegeeza mwami Museveni naye atwegatteko ku message eno naye agamba abawagizi be nti bannaye bamala okulonda musigaleewo, musigale emabbali awo temuvaawo kubanga aba NUP babba akalulu kange ku luli kati temukakkiriza kubbibwa. Kati ffenna message tutambuzeeyo kubanga ne kye twogerako kiri mu mateeka. Kati atwegatteko ku message eno nti abantu bamaliza okulonda bayimirire emabbali babeerewo, buli omu abawagizi be babeerewo tulabe ani agenda okubba akalulu.
Zaako okutangaaza ku nsonga ebadde etambula nga bamawulire mugigoberera era nga mugibuuzaako nnyo eya bakandidate ba NUP be mulabye ensangi zino nga Museveni n'abantu be baba paradinga ne bagamba ono abadde candidate wa NUP kati acrossinze yeegase ku nakyemalira. Ekisooka kye twagala okutangaaza nti ekibiina ebbaluwa emujja mu lwokaano kubanga etteeka liragira nti candidate bw'aba ali sponsored by a political party tasobola ye kwejja mu lwokaano. Ekibiina kiba kirina okuwandiika ne kimukkiriza okuwithdrawinga. Ekibiina tekigenda kuwandiikira muntu yenna ebbaluwa emujja mu lwokaano era abo abantu bonna bagenda kusigala ku ballot paper bwe mulaba ensangi zino. Naye n'ensonga ey'okubiri kwe kutegeera lwaki nakyemalira akola kino ekintu kubanga basooka ne bagamba NUP talina bakandidate. Mujjukira bulungi nnyo era abo bonna boogerera Museveni babeeraawo ne bagamba NUP eremeredde okunominatinga bakandidate n'ebirala bwe bityo. Twabategeeza nti ku mutendera gwa mubaka wa parliament twalina bakandidate 425. Kakati bakandidates abamu regime ne balemesa okwewandiisa mu bijjukiro ebyali Bukedeya n'awalala wangi nnyo. Bakandidate baffe twalina 425 kati ku 425 abamu ne babalemesa okwewandiisa kyere ng'ensi yonna eraba Bukedeya mu bijjukiro ebyaliyo ebyali Luhinda ebyali Buyende n'awalala ne babalemesa okuyingira we baali banominatingira bakandidate. Bakandidate abalala ne babakwata ne babawamba abamu ne babasiba okubalemesa okwewandiisa. Kati bakandidate abamu ne balemererwa okusasula ssente miliyoni 3 ze basaba bakandidate okwewandiisa. Munange mu ggwanga lye tutambulira mu Uganda embeera y'obwavu gye mumanyi bulungi nnyo teyasobozesa abantu bangi nnyo okusobola okukola ki okwewandiisa. Naye ekibiina ne kikola kyonna kyonna kye kisobola okukola mu bugubye bw'ekitalo ne kinominatinga bakandidates 303 era ne bwe twawandiika 303 abalugimu baavangayo nga bagamba nga beewaana nti olaba ku before almost 5 over 500 NUP esobodde okuwandiisa bakandidate 303 naye nga be balemeseza abasinga okwewandiisa bali abatasobola okwewandiisa. Kakati bwe twamala obawandiisa ne batandikirawo okubatuukirira n'ogezaako okubajja mu lwokaano. Era muze mukiraba almost buli nnaku eziyita Museveni nga paradinga abantu n'agamba ono abadde candidate wa NUP n'ebirala bwe bityo. Of course awamu babadde baparadinga bafere ndowooza mubadde mubiraba awamu ne baleeta abantu awo ne babambaza t-shirt empya ne bagamba nti bano babadde ba NUP abantu be tutalabangako abamu bategeeza nti basirikale bagenda ne babambaza t-shirts ezimu baazibba wano mukimanyi bulungi nnyo. Waliwo n'omwana ya recording akatambi ku NASA nga batwala t-shirts bali nga baprintinga t-shirts eza NRM neza NUP nga bazitwala ku lwale ya Museveni bali babambaze t-shirts bakleminge nti bano ba NUP. So ebyo byonna babikoze naye kati ensonga gye tubadde twagala kwogerako nnyo ey'abakandidate baffe be mulaba be baparadinga buli lunaku. Ssente ze babawa kubanga ng'abamu abali ono bagenda bagamba babasuubiza bintu bingi nnyo, ssente, emirimu n'ebirala. Ezo ssente za muwi omusolo ezaalibadde zizimba amasomero, ezaalibadde zikola ku byezijanjaba n'ebirala, naye regime kakati ezekozesa okugulirira bano abantu. Kyabuswavu nnyo buli lwolaba General Museveni yennyini nga yenyigira mu bumenyi bw'amateeka mu bikolobero bino, kubanga ebeera bribery ey'ekika ekyawaggulu okugulirira abantu bave mu lwokaano lwa NUP. Ekyo nno bannange kitulaga ni Museveni atidde nnyo kye bayita protest vote, atidde nnyo NUP. Bwe mbagambye ensonga lwaki bagulirira abakandideeti bano, Museveni aba tayagala babeere ne ba polling agents, kubanga oli bw'ava mu lwokaano talina bw'agenda ku deployinga polling agents ku lunaku luli. Bakimanyi nti ekibiina bwe kiba kirina candidate n'adeployinga ba agent be, ne presidential candidate n'abeerawo ne ba agent, baba tebalina bwe bagenda kubba akalulu. Naye kaakati kyova olaba bali mu kukola olukwesikwesi okubba akalulu nga bakozesa bano abantu. Era tufunye ne information, kubanga nabo bakimanyi nti bano ba candidate tebasobola kwejja mu lwokaano, nti era baagala still bagende mu maaso badeployinge ba agent ku lunaku luli. Then bano ba agent baba n'abaavaamu, kubanga abo baba ba NRM, baveeyo bakkiriziganye n'ababbi b'obululu be banaabakoze eki boogedde. Simanyi bamutegeera ensonga eyo, nti oli bw'aba nga yeeyita candidate wa NUP naye nga yaseeringa out, bw'abeera ne ba agent be ne bakyusa DR form, ono agent kubanga bagenda ba operatives ne basayininga kuli ne bagamba nti ebivuddemu naffe tubisayininzeko tubikkiriza. So twagala kubalabula abo nabona abalabise ne Museveni tetugenda bakkiriza kubeera ne polling agents abeeyita ba NUP. Ate ne babeerayo nga babataddeyo bonga abakandidate, temubeesiga abantu baffe, tebalina kubeesiga kubanga abantu abo already bamaze dda okututunda, bamaze dda okutunda bannayuganda, bamaze dda okutunda struggle nga bwe mulaba mwena.
The fear, alarming fear exhibited by the regime is out there for all and sundry to see. The things that are being done by the regime are signs of weakness, not signs of strength. When you choose to intimidate and compromise our candidates, it is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of weakness. And I've seen them, at their rallies showing excitement. Hey, now this one, we talked to him and that kind of thing, gave them some money, some they have been intimidated. That's a sign of weakness. Weakness because the people of Uganda across the country, they are desirous and hungry for change. So the regime, because it has nothing to offer to the people, after 40 years, you don't have a new story to tell the people. That what? That you're going to fix roads, that you're going to fix healthcare, education, joblessness, and so on, that you're going to fix these things when you have failed to do them after 40 years. So all they have got to do is to reach out to now our candidates out there who are pushing the message of change, to intimidate them, to compromise them, and that's what is happening severally. But we are glad there are those who have said, no, we have read into this, we shall stay the course. Because even when you intimidate or compromise a particular candidate, the issues in the area remain. Water doesn't suddenly come. The roads don't get suddenly fixed. Electricity, healthcare, and all these, service provision issues, they don't get fixed. And so I want to call on the people in those areas. Yes, some of our candidates have been intimidated. They reach out to their families, intimidate them. Others, they compromise them. But even when that happens, the citizens, you stay the course, because the issues of concern to you, they don't go away just because one candidate has been compromised. Again, the fear of the regime, it is displayed in the brutality that we see everywhere. Because the regime is afraid of the people who have come out to express solidarity with us. Every part of the country we have been to, you have seen the massive support. Even the least likely places where the regime thought here we have massive support, people have showed up and they have come to express solidarity with us. That scares the regime. That's why they do all of these different things. So when you see the brutality, it is because of the fear. We saw what happened to our presidential candidate yesterday. You stop him from going to campaign. Then when it is past time, he says, okay, now let me go and rest because tomorrow I have to resume campaigns. They say, no, you'll not go and sleep in that hotel. What do you want him to do? To first come back to Kampala and then hit the road again to go to Soroti today? Total confusion. That they now have to lob his car with tear gas canisters. We saw all that brutality. It is the fear of the people. And so while these things, they upset the people of Uganda, they should also encourage us. Because a regime that is not in fear cannot do these things. They fear because they see the massive support. They see that the carpet is being pulled from under their feet. That's why they do these things. And so, yes, while we are complaining and saying we want fairness, electoral commission, be a good referee, call these people to order, we'll keep pressing on. And that's why today our presidential candidate, again, is hitting the ground running. Yes, they are battered, they are in pain, they are upset and agitated, but we'll keep going because the regime wants us to stop. We are not going to stop because they are responding out of fear. And that means whatever we are doing, we must keep doing. When you see Mr. Museveni say the things that he's saying, again, it is fear. He's now promising that he's going to shoot the people of Uganda. Something they did in 2020, remember November 18th and November 19th. We were here with the families, bereaved families. And now he's saying, we shall shoot and kill many more Ugandans. That's really what he has said. Why? Because they're afraid of those many Ugandans who are saying, we want change. We want a new Uganda. We want a better country. So the things that they have failed to do, which they should have done, fixing service provision issues, fixing the roads, electricity, water, healthcare, and so on. Now that they have failed to do those things, and the people of Uganda are saying, we are tired of you. So they are expending money to kill these people, to shoot them. So they'll buy armory, they'll buy all manner of ammunition, they'll buy tear gas canisters and tankers, as opposed to buying medical equipment, fixing roads, and all of these different things. It is fear. And so they want now to inoculate that fear in the people of Uganda because the regime is afraid of the people. So now they want to send that fear to the people. But hopefully the people of Uganda will not fall into this fear. We have said severally, we are peaceful citizens who are interested in a better country. Our leader, our presidential candidate, has time and again told people, we are non-violent, let's be non-violent. Anyone among us that tries to cause violence so that then the military and regime responds, that one is not part of us. Those ones have been planted. That's a message we have always sent out there. And so we are going to keep pushing on, non-violently, peacefully. So as we are saying, for us we are peaceful and we want to take power peacefully, Mr. Museveni is saying, we are going to shoot you and kill you. The world is watching how the regime is being violent. And I've seen some regime people and others, calling on the population, let's be peaceful. The people of Uganda have always been peaceful. It is the military, it is the regime that has chosen violence. They choose violence every day. That's why they treat our presidential candidate that way. That's why they come to our rallies and beat people, even at the rally venues. They will vandalize our property, our equipment, public address systems, and so on at a rally, because you're saying be at the rally, but even at the rally, they will raid us there. So they choose violence on a daily basis. But they're saying, let's choose peace. You are the ones who should be choosing peace, the regime and the military, because you have chosen violence every single day. The people of Uganda have never chosen violence. And that's why even when they are beaten and so on, they have capacity to respond. But they're saying, no, we shall not fall for this provocation. And even we as their leaders, we keep saying, for us, let's be peaceful. So when we see people telling us, tell your people to be peaceful, which of our people are violent? We're not the ones who command the military, which is beating us up. We're not the ones who lob the tear gas canisters. The goons that are always in NRM yellow t-shirts beating up our people, who commands them? So those fellows choose violence every day. That's what has got to be addressed. But like I'm saying, all of that is fear. And so now it's not stopping at the goons they planned to beat our people up. the tear gas, and so on. Now their top leader is also coming out to say he's choosing violence. So he's telling the people of Uganda, we are going to shoot you dead. We have enough ammunition. Each police officer has got 120 rounds of ammunition, so we shall shoot you dead. Seriously? But anyhow, like I'm saying, that comes out of somebody who is afraid of a people who are saying, we want change. We want better. As opposed to them doing the right thing, they want to attack the people. Again, talking about fear, it is a fearful person who realizes that the tide has shifted incredibly. In 2021, the people were saying, no, we are tired. This time around, it is a lot more massive. Even in places where Mr. Museveni thought he had a lot of support. Karamoja, Western Uganda, he is saying the natural desire for change. While his rallies are not organic, people have got to be transported, given transport refund, given t-shirts. They transport school children. Schools have to close wherever he goes. Now they're on holiday, but they always have got to do that, transport school children. And our rallies are organic. The love is organic. So he sees that it's going to be a lot more massive this time round. And so he's scared. That's why he's now talking about us rigging him. He said in 2021, we rigged his vote. Can you imagine? Police officers and so on were doing ballot stuffing and military people. He's saying NUP, we rigged his vote. By the way, the other time he said 1 million votes. That we stole is 1 million. Now he's saying 2.7 million votes. It baffles me because he recently renewed the contract of his lordship, Justice Simon Byabaka. So if you're saying he superintended over a process that rigged your vote, why have you renewed your mandate just a few months ago? Why didn't you fire him? Why didn't you address him and hire him to work with? Because if you're saying they rigged your vote, it was under their watch. But now he realizes that it's going to be a lot more massive. So he's preparing the population for him to say, no, the other time NUP rigged 2.7 by 2.7 million votes. Now, in addition to the votes they will have gotten, they will rig by about 5 million votes because he can see that we have got massive support and the election is not in his favor. So he's trying to set the stage so that when we eventually win, he says, no, these people, they rigged like they did the other time. But we are looking into all of this fear by the regime. We shall not fall for this trap, into this trap. We will keep pressing on, doing what we have got to do in many cases. So today, that's the matter I wanted to address because all of you have been seeing these pictures of wherever they go or wherever they see our candidate going, they get our candidates from those areas and parade them to say that these people have now crossed and now joining NRM. We think it is very, very shameful for the regime and its operatives to be engaging in this kind of criminal conduct. We have some candidates here who have stood firm, who have been approached, and they have insisted and stayed on course. And maybe they are going to give their stories. But we wanted to make it clear that, first of all, we are not going to withdraw these candidates formally, but also to talk about the intention. The intention, first of all, it is clear that the regime is afraid. Because initially, they claimed that NUP did not have candidates. When we got, you remember, we informed the nation that initially we had 425 candidates who we had identified. Now, the 425 candidates, several of them were not able to nominate. One, because they were blocked. Some of them were blocked. You remember what happened in Bukedea, in Ruhinda, and many other places, in Buyende and other places, where our candidates were simply blocked from accessing the Electoral Commission venues. And of course, that was a conspiracy. In some cases, like Bukoto Central, the Electoral Commission dictated who would become the candidate of NUP. Then, because of the amount of money which is imposed on candidates for nomination, the 3 million shillings, and then the regime having blocked funds to NUP, we were not able to facilitate or pay for several other candidates. So out of 425 candidates, we ended up nominating 303 candidates. But even those, the regime feels are too many for NUP.
I'm sure you've seen that the target is especially the National Unity Platform. But somebody might ask themselves, why is the regime vested so much in this matter? It is simply because the regime wants to rig elections. And they know that where you have a candidate and the candidate deploys polling agents and the presidential candidate also deploys polling agents, it will be very difficult for them to rig at that particular polling station. So that is why you see them engage in this kind of conduct, because they don't want NUP to have all these candidates who will deploy polling agents, who will be there campaigning for us. So that is what they're trying to do. And what is very, very shameful, of course, part of the corruption that has come to define our country is that the money they use in all these crimes is taxpayers' money. You hear them every day. You see teachers striking because they don't have money, doctors striking. You see traders striking because of high taxes. And then you hear the regime claiming that they're trying to raise taxes because of this and that. Then they say they don't have money to facilitate the hospitals, the schools, and all that. And yet, the money which should be doing those things and giving services to the people of Uganda is the one which they are using to commit these crimes. Because bribery is an electoral offense. That's why we're calling it a crime, ladies and gentlemen. So we condemn that in the strongest terms possible. And we thought you people should listen to some of the candidates who have been approached. Unfortunately, many of the candidates are not able to be here now because they are out there campaigning. But I also want to indicate that although the regime has been parading many people, we still have solid men and women who have refused to, to be compromised. Up to 90% of our candidates at all levels have been approached with offers of money, with offers of jobs. They asked for their CVs, that they are going to appoint them RDCs and all that. Those are the kinds of things that keep happening every day. But we thank our candidates who are still on course, who have refused to sell their future. I'm sure you've seen some of our candidates now being paraded to, say all sorts of things about the party. But also what I also want to announce is that most of those people you see who are now being used and bought, the party nominated them. Even with our limited financial means and the financial challenges we have, we looked for money, in some cases borrowing and and raising funds from our supporters, doing the fundraising and all that. And we supported those people to nominate. We paid their nomination fees. So you can imagine the duplicity. The party struggles, pays nomination fees for these individuals, and then you see them saying the kinds of things they are saying simply because the dictatorship has intimidated them and promised them money. Gali agasajja abiri genda bye ne gaseeringa out. Wewale nnyo nnyabo naye yogera ku eri abantu.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Jane Abo is my name, flag bearer, woman member of parliament, Palisa district. I address the nation regarding an issue of political integrity and principle. Recently, it was last week, I was approached by one of the NRM members, that is the chairperson NRM of the district, that also doubles to be member of parliament for Gogonyo County. It would not be okay for me to mention the name. And then he was being escorted by one of our comrades in the struggle, flag bearer, member of parliament for Palisa County, NUP. So I got a call from my comrade. It was like there is something he needed to share with me and in person. I told him it is okay. He told me I'm traveling from Kampala. I will be reaching Palisa by 3. I said it's okay. I will be back from the field by then. So it took him time to reach Palisa. He called me at around 9 p.m. and he told me, can I still come? I told him it's well. If it is something very important, you come and we share. The gentleman comes to my home at 11 p.m. and it was a car that I'd never seen him driving before. The number plate was CCT something. I didn't cram it. And only to see the Honorable Member of Parliament, who also that was to be the chairperson NRM of the district, Palisa, come out with a bodyguard plus my comrade. They moved straight to my car. We sat there. I couldn't take them to my house because of security purposes. So we sat in my car, and they were trying to convince me to receive the 50 million and abandon my political position. I did not give them a reply that very time. I told them, give me time, I think about it. They promised me a lot of other things apart from money. They told me to come along uh, with my CV or academic documents that we were going to present in State House. And they also promised me that if the job that matches my qualification, academic qualifications, is not there, they would give me an appointment of an RDC, because there are so many RDCs that have gone for the rest of different political positions. So there are vacancies. And then they also told me that a lot of things. They told me that above all, they are sending for me a draft of a withdrawal letter to withdraw from the race. I print it and edit it and print, and we go with it straight to State House. That was on Friday night before His Excellency went to Palisa last Tuesday, 16th December. So on Saturday morning, the calls were overwhelming. I was receiving a call from the RDC, who was also telling me he needed to speak to me because we need to leave. We need to go. I need to go for a COVID test, and we go to State House. I told him I'd already gone to the field to mobilize for His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, who was expected to be in Palisa on Tuesday. I also received a phone call from the same district NRM chairperson, who affirmed to me that if I missed that opportunity, I'm going to suffer for the rest of my life. I told him I was not ready to sell my party, to sell my integrity, to sell my conscience because of money. Because as a person, I didn't go uh, to the rest because I wanted to put myself at a level where I would be bought. Integrity can never be bought at any amount of money. So I want to affirm to all Ugandans, and specifically to the people of Palisa district, that I rejected that offer. Not because I have the money, but it's because of what we are seeing in this country. I'm standing for the truth, and I'm standing because we are seeing there is a lot that needs to be done. I stood strong because I stand for the principles of party: accountability, transparency. How would I sell out the people of Palisa? So I'm not speaking this because I want to incite any kind of confrontation, but I'm speaking this because I treasure so much integrity. I want to also tell us that I've been threatened properly. They've threatened my businesses. I operate events companies in Palisa and Serere districts. And I also have a primary school that is in the Palisa district that promised to cancel my license for the school and also frustrate my businesses. So I want to first again thank the National Unity Platform leadership for standing firm. And I also want to appeal to all the political actors that integrity is key. We are all looking forward to a new Uganda. I just imagine our comrades that have sold out to a political party that is in its evenings. It is so heartbreaking. And before I leave the platform, I would like to speak about my other comrade from Gogonyo County. Is also a flag bearer, member of parliament. It's called Luka Ivan. That gentleman was called by our district chairperson that is a victim of this circumstance. That you come, there are people that are giving out loans You come to the district, I want to meet you. The gentleman went straight, and only to reach the office, it was the office of his opponent, who is the chairperson, NRM, and the incumbent MP for Bogonyo County. So he was also convinced. That gentleman also rejected the offer. He called me and asked me, Jane, if you're standing strong, I'm ready to stand with you. The rest that are going, let's wish them the best, because the National Unity Platform is like a lake. A lake can never hold dead fish. It will always take it to the shores. So we have already known who is with us and who is not with us. With all that said, I thank you all for God and my country.
NUP and everywhere. My name is Atayre Patience, flag bearer, National Unity Platform, aspiring woman MP, Kamwenge District. As you've heard from my fellow comrade, my sister, Jane, the same issue I've been going through as a candidate in Kamwenge District. The state operatives have been approaching me to sell out, to get out of the race. They were offering me 300 million shillings, Ugandan shillings, so that I can get out of the race. But as my sister has said, integrity is our key. They have not only approached me, but they also approached our district committee of National Unity Platform. They approached our mobilizers, they approached our fellow foot soldiers, they approached my official agent so that they can betray me. And they were telling me, they're talking to me that I'm going to sell out, trying to convince them that they can also come to be paraded, because Museveni was in Kamwenge on 8th of this month, and our president was going to come in Kamwenge on 13th. So they wanted us to be paraded on Museveni's rally, but it was all in vain. And I want to thank our district committee, our mobilizers, my agent, my foot soldiers in Kamwenge district. None of them, Mr. SG, accepted the offer. They all denied. They said, we are here to stay. We cannot betray you. We cannot betray our party. We cannot betray our president, because what we are fighting for is more than the amount of money they want to give us. All we want a new Uganda. We want change. So I thank you all, my people from Kamwenge. Mr. SG, our rope, and our treasurer, fellow comrades, this state is in fear more than we think. Because they say NUP don't have support. NUP don't have candidates. If so, then why are you approaching us? You're not seeing us, you're not looking at us, then why are you calling us to sell out? Please let everyone stay in his lane. We don't have money, as you say, because they undermined me, by the way, in Kamwenge, that she's young, she doesn't have any money. What is she going to do for you? You people, what we have is more than money. For us, we stand on the truth, we stand on people power. If you think you have everything, my dear, you're lying to yourself. We have all what it takes, that is people power. We are going to stand strong. I personally, Patience, this message specifically goes to the state, because they are calling me since the president was in Kamwenge on 13th, and the turn up, it was beyond their expectation. They didn't even expect Kamwenge district to have such turn up to come and receive our president. Now they are calling me again that now my price tag is higher than before. Now the Museveni himself is going to come to me. If that's the truth, this goes to the state and to Mr. Museveni. Please don't come to me. My dignity, my integrity, my respect is not worth any amount. My country is worth even my life. I would rather die fighting for what is right, fighting for my country, fighting for a new Uganda. But I cannot live a shameful life betraying my country and myself. Zamanya gange Atwere Patience eyesimbyewo ku Woman MP Kamwenge District. Nange aba state bantuukirira nga baagala nve mu lwokaano olwa Woman MP nga baagala nange bagende bamparedinge olwala ya Museveni nti nange naliddemu struggle olukwe oba pate yange oba ensi yange olukwe nti nakyuse neeva mu NUP nengenda mu NRM naye kyagaana tebaakoma okwo ne batuukirira akakiiko kaffe aka disitulikiti nabo ne bagezaako okwogera nabo nga babagamba olwedde bali mu kwogera nange nnyinza okukkiriza nengenda ku lwale yaabwe nenkyuka nengenda mu NUP naye akakiiko kaffe bonna be baatuukirira ne agent wange ne ba foot soldiers bonna be baali bamanyi nti bali mu NUP nga ntambula nabo nga tunoonya akalulu bonna abaana abo teri yakkiriza okulyamu struggle yaffe olukwe era mbeebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala abantu b'e Kamwenge bantuukirira ne baŋŋamba bwe bagenda kumpa miliyoni 3 nve mu lwokaano naye nagaana nabagamba nze ndi mu struggle nwanira Uganda empya era siina wendaga era president bwe yajja e Kamwenge mwalaba tanapu yali nnungi nnyo kye bali tebasuubira nti e Kamwenge abantu basobola okuvaayo mu bungi bwe batyo kati n'essaawa zino bali kunkubira amasimu nga baŋŋamba nti okusinziira ekyatuukawo Kamwenge on Saturday kati price tag yange yeeyongeddeko bw'ate kati Museveni kennyini agenda kwesukira ngu ajje ng'anoonya naye nze nnyongera okubajukiza wano era buno obubaka bugenda eri state ne mwamu Museveni nze bambi toonoonya kuba siina diiru naawe siina kyenkwagaza tolina kyenjagaza nze ndi wano ku lw'ensi yange okulwanira ensi yange kulwanira abaana bange ne bazzukulu bange n'emirembe egijja so abali eyo abalowooza nti nze Patience nsobola okulya mu nsi yange olukwe nze ndigumite nze siina wendaga so n'ebyo ebitono Mukama bampeera omukisa
webale nnyo maybe kyatababuulidde ofa kati ennaku zino babagamba miliyoni 3 oba 5 naye ne basooka ne babawaako miliyoni 5 mu cash kye bagenda bakola at least ku bacandidates twakayogerako nabo.
People power, our power. Okoth Ronald, NUP aspirant MP for West Budama Central. I think my story is not different from my colleagues. At first, they approached me that since Toro district is going to be splitted into 3 districts of Mulanda, Kisoko, and Bukujo. Now, me, I come from Mulanda. They told me, since we are going to give you Mulanda district, we are going to create a constituency of your own, and we shall either appoint you at a DC, or we shall make you to cross to NRM, and we seal that place or that position for you to contest in one of the constituencies of Mulanda district. I told them, people, I know the law. I'm an advocate. There is no Mulanda district right now. Parliament has never passed that district because Article, I think 179 is very clear how districts are created in Uganda. So when they saw I had challenged that, they brought now in my relatives. Now one of my relatives called me directly that, my phone records nowadays. So I have that thing. He told me, the big man has approached us, has told me that since they have looked at your papers, you have performed very well, you are a good advocate, we are going to appoint you one of the magistrates. So please accept this offer, then we shall be able to pay you the money you have wasted in your posters. I rejected that. I told them, you're not public service. I know the process of how they do it. And I told one of my relatives that if you're serious on that, let the advert come out on the newspaper today. I was trying to show him the process, how it happened. Let the advert come out in the newspaper. I got a seat for the interview, but you telling me that they are going to appoint me, no. Then he ran away on a phone call. Then when I went back on ground, they brought a team of NRM people, around 5. They approached me. They told me, again, the big person has sent them that I should step down. I live for them this one term. I should accept 50 million. And also, they will add me 50 million to pay my agents, to pay for the posters I have spent. But what I can tell, these are the same people who are telling us that in Tororo, there is no NUP, that NUP is a Buganda thing. When I challenge them that if NUP is a Buganda thing, then is NRM for the Japa dollars? Was it started by the Japa dollars? They couldn't answer. So I kept on telling people, and people actually in the entire Tororo accepted that indeed, if NRM is not, the founders are not from Tororo. If UPC, if the founders are not from Tororo, FDC, what about NUP? Is it so different? And I cleared that propaganda. So people are saying that there's no NUP in Tororo, and the people are looking for us to buy us. They have even opened up a police case on me in Tororo waiting for me. So there's a lot of things going on, but we are telling people that the integrity that NUP has taught us, the transparency, we are not able to sell it off. And we know, as my colleague has put it, the government, this NRM regime, it is in its evening. Anytime it is leaving, we are the people who are going to remain here to make sure that the system moves well. And we can tell you, people of Uganda, be strong. His Excellency Chagulanyi Ssentamu is going to win in Tororo. You people saw the mobilization within Tororo. This is an area where, if you recall, 3 years back, one of the prominent people from Tororo refused Bobi Wine from reaching Tororo to cross Tororo. And that's why people of Tororo had missed seeing Bobi Wine for the last 3 or 4 years. But this time, the mobilization we did through the Nyalere campaign that we named, I think we performed best and we did well. Mu Luganda, nze Bampitoko Ronald, banupu yanesiga nempa flaga okwesimbawo ekifo kya mubaka wa parliament West Budama Central. Ndaba NRM bantukirira okusooka mumanyi mwawulira zino muno Tororo bagenda gyawuza bagigabire district nga 3, Mulanda, Kisoko and Bugojo. Ati nva Mulanda eyo gye mumanyi ne bangamba bagenda kunkolera constituency eyange. Kati constituency we bagikola nze nyinyo kucrossinga ku NRM bakinsiringa mbere nga soli candidate ekyo kifo mbere nga nze ashikira mu kifo ekyo. Ne bangamba oba tukwecha RDC ne mbagamba ndi munamateeka ebintu mbimanyi. Parliament nayisako district ekyali cabinet proposal. Ate omukazi waba akyali lubuto tusagamba munono mwana wange kamutume Ronald kamutume Gunta tanafuna magamba ekya district ekiriyo babalimba oboloza nkulimba kati mundage gazeti nga Mulanda ne balema oyo ne badduka kati ne baleta category omulala kati eno yeba involvinga tata wange omuto. Tata wange omuto we yajja nangamba omukulu ansindise batunde ku mpapula zo oli munamateeka mulungi osomye bulungi empapula zonna oziina bagenda kuwa ekifo kya magistrate. Ne mbagamba mwagala kumpa kyabo omulamuzi magistrate bo bali public service kitongole kigaba omulimu. Kale waba mwagala kakasa kye mbagamba bagende bateeke nga njagala batestinga obalaba mugende mukole advert ku newspaper mugambe kifo kya magistrate tukiranze ngene kole interview mu mbogo omulimu. Ne mbagamba ekyo bakola ki babalimba. Kati we balaba nga buli kyonna kigaanye ati ne baleta group y'aba NRM nga nali ngenze ku field bataano ne bagamba mukulu atusindise tugenda kuwa $5,000,000 tukwongera $5,000,000 osasule aba agents bo posters zo ove mu race. Byonna ne mbiga ne bagamba NUP kye yatusomesa okuba abantu balamu. Mugamba mu NUP si yabaganda si yabadama. Ne bagamba waba mugamba NUP si yabadama ne mbabuuza NRM abagitandikawo badama mungambe. Ne bagamba tukube tugerezeeko mumanyi UPC ani yagitandika mwalimu badama tetwagiwagira FDC batandika badama tebali. Ne bagamba bano balimba NUP kati yeriwo yegenda tuleetera ebintu byonna byonna bye twetaaga.
The names of Robinson Akera. I am the aspirant for Badege Laibi in Gulu City. So you all know what happened on the 6th when we were in Gulu with our party president, His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, who is actually the incoming president. I want to make something clear. Number one, Northern Uganda, the whole entire Choli sub-region doesn't hate NUP. There has been a notion that we don't want NUP. That is very wrong. I want to categorically state it very clear that it's a very big lie these people are trying to tell Ugandans. Northern Uganda historically has been the bed of opposition. Why? Because all the developments that you see, always Northern Uganda is the last one to receive the development. So whatever you saw on the 6th, I was personally there. So when they tried to block our party president, they were like, he should not cross bank of Uganda, he should take the left route. Now on the left route, there were also police and army deployed. I see. The point is, they did not want the world to know that NUP exists in Northern Uganda. Why? They're saying that, oh, we don't want Bobby Wine, we don't want Bobby Wine. But indeed, we are really, really very strong. Well, I was approached. As a matter of fact, all my agents were bought. So I remember the day we came here when the party was paying for our nomination money, our nomination fee. I called my agents, my seconder, my proposer, and the campaign manager. I called them and said, are you guys on ground? They told me yes. Coincidentally, that was the day President Museveni was in Gulu. On 22nd and 23rd, he was in Gulu. So I travel at night. My nomination was scheduled for 22nd. So when I called my manager, his phone was off. I called the seconder, the phone was off. I called the proposer, the phone was off. I said, what am I going to do? Immediately, my brain had to go in auto. I knew there was a problem. So what happened when we were here on the day of nomination, somebody whispered to me at Robin, why don't you get more extra nomination papers? That is what saved me. So on the day of nomination, all these guys had disappeared. Kumbe that what? That crossed. The point was they wanted me to be technically knocked out because they had crossed to NRM, which was very unfortunate because I had to just remove that sheet where that sign. I got another paper and then I filled my new agents. I see. That is how I ended up nominating. Okay, I was approached. They approached me and they told me they're going to give me 50 million. And they told me, look, Robin, you're still very young. Why don't we just give you 50 million, you go and buy a car, you set up a business, and you forget about politics? So I told them, no. Did I say I want the money? Did I say I want the money? Because if it was about money, why are they coming at the time when we are nominating? Did they not know I existed before? So what I would like people to know categorically is the regime is always trading on lies. There's nothing that they always tell the truth. Me, I was born in Gulu. I studied in Gulu. And right now I'm going to challenge the political position in Gulu. Ask yourself, if they are going to promise you RDC, how many RDCs are alive in Gulu district, as you know? Ask yourself, all these RDCs, they have died mysteriously. We have one, Mr. Lutukumoy, who is right now bedridden. If you remember this guy of DP, Makalo Tukumoy. After they appointed him the RDC, right now, as I speak, he's fighting for his life in the US. So all these many lies, if you are telling me you are going to appoint me as an RDC, I look at myself like a dead person because I've never seen a former RDC who is alive in northern Uganda. You get? So that is it. So I would like this thing to really move so clearly. I'm speaking this without shame, without fear. Secondly, they are telling me that I should quit politics. Why do they want me to quit politics? Why? They are telling me I'm young. If you are to see 90% of the people who are leading us, they are old people. But when we were growing up, we look at old people for inspiration. Like when I was growing up, I used to see Mr. Norbert Mao as my mentor. I used to like the way he speaks, the way he addresses issues. But tell me right now, do I have any appetite of following Mao, a full justice and constitutional affairs minister from northern Uganda? It is a shame, a very big shame. Lastly, I would like to make this very clear. As northern Uganda, come January 15th, the umbrella is winning with a landslide.
My name is Amkole Achiro Gloria, the aspirant woman member of parliament, Madiokolo district. Madiokolo district is initially known to be an NRM district, a district that needs no intervention from any other party. So for that reason, they really see any opposition person as an enemy. I came into politics in 2021. I moved the ground. It was very inspiring to the young people because they have seen me grown among the people of Mariokolo. I've studied among the young people from the little backward schools where they saw me that I managed to also acquire positions that other people can stand in. They were very inspired. So my coming as an opposition shook the district. They had to start intimidating me. They intimidated me till towards elections. I remember very key first family member called me at around 3. Imagine becoming sleepless because of Gloria. At that time I was, I think, 26. He had to say, young girl, you're young, calm down. What do you want? Can we help you? So I told them I have nothing that I want. I want to lead my people. I want to raise the voice of my people. I want to extend my voice on behalf of my people. I want to talk on their behalf in the parliament. So the man said, no, it's not going to happen. Then I started to get intimidations. When they saw that they failed, they had to buy 2 of my nominees off. They gave them 5 million, and they had to deny my nomination 10 days towards the election. So it was so disappointing. My opponent had to go unopposed. So this time I said it's not happening again. I had to get 20 nominees so that they'll have no excuse. And there is no excuse. I don't care how much intimidations I'm facing. This time the rate has gone high. First of all, they have bought 15 of my key agents. They brought them to Kampala, gave them motorcycles, new. They think that that can help them, they accepted. But because we are in a new Uganda, we are ready for change. More people have come. As I talk now, I have everyday people who want to be my agents because they see that we want a new Uganda. Nothing is intimidating anybody. Those who think that motorcycles can take their life to the grave, they have accepted, but we are unstoppable. So when they see that we are unstoppable with the young youth, the key persons of the district started coming in, the security people, the what. One time I had to get to their point. I went and attended the meeting. They wanted so much of. I'm like, fine, you have said you wanted to meet me, here I am. They said, Gloria, you're too good to be in NUP. That is not your class. Those people are just using you. I said, I'm ready to be used because even God looks for people he can use. So if the NUP can find a vessel in me to be used, I'm lucky. They said it's a Uganda agenda. I said, even me, I'm a Ugandan. So if Ugandans are ready to use us, which means they have got the intelligence to overcome the dictator. So they told me they are using you, get out of there, get a meaning to your life. I said, what is the meaning of my life since childhood? If our schools are still lacking, if our hospitals still don't have drugs, if our people in the village are still drinking mud water, these are not stories. So what life can you give me? Give the life that you wanted to give me to my young fellow youth. Make hospitals. Use the money, the 200 million that you want to give me. Make medicine in the health centers. That money can reorganize our health center 3 and make it a useful place. So I don't need any money. They are telling me, you are digging your grave. You are going to regret this. My one thing I want to tell the NU people, fine, I am feeling challenged because they have the money. If I go to a rally with 200 people and I have nothing to give them, my opponent will go there and give them 2 million so that they can silence the people. I don't care how much they are giving them. I am telling my people that I have gone on top of the mango tree to shake the mangoes down so that my people can eat and get satisfied. But they should not vote because it is time for change. Uganda needs change. We are in a revolutionary journey. If anyone wants a future, you cannot have a future among, the Bible says even the young shall take care of the old. Now the old are still fighting for the power. What energy do they have? They have no energy. It is our turn. If they are still laying down on our eggs, what are we going to use to take care of them tomorrow? So I refuse the money. I am a flight attendant by profession, but they are promising me they are going to get for me a job. Where were they when I've been jobless all this time?
Everybody here, by my name, I'm called Charimba Resti Sarah Chamunari, aspirant woman for Ssenyonyi district. Please allow me to speak in my language, in the Ankole Ruchiga, because I'm giving a message to my people. The point is mbaza kwebaza abantu banje aba Isingiro, especially mu constituency yanje ya Isingiro West. Abamberireho oburwambira amayabirayije n'amakego nago nagaketorero ekibuga akatambinkine kanu abo kuba nyine CC cameras in my home. Nomination ekyo kubanza kyabyona ngenda kubanza kubasima abantu ba Isingiro, especially abakuruga ahidi kurara omuri constituency yanje. Mukanyamba mwija mwabaho yija yayeta n'amajego nagayetorera enju n'abantine tobani baza kubyara yembundu abandi baza kubyara yo pistol nyaza gaye bagire mune yanje konke cyanyambire nko muntu mukazi mukuru gabanyine CCTV camera omunju yanje then zaba kwata konka n'abantu nabo bakabateka hembe myaka nkaga ngwaje kwesimbaho obwa MP ekyandetire ekyo kwesimbaho nkaba ntakakibashorera abantu banje ba Isingiro abandi mwebuza niwogo mukazi wo mukikuru kandi kabayani babinga bakiku abagurusi n'abakikuru wakija gukora ki abantu banje ba Isingiro, especially aba Isingiro West and South. Nimumanya binkorira abantu bona ubu natwira heru nitwara abana heru abandi bavyo bawita bayesimba NRM echo busasi abana bunameta yigire ngo nimwe mwekorere mwebereremu mubase kuyamba ensi yanyu gonkati nibayoni barige nyuma y'abantu abari kunyigiriza. So aizo bajya nomination abantu ba Isingiro nimwe ndikweje message with nomination hakija miliyoni 100 ntaka nominatingire ngo zikwata miliyoni 100 rero urugo mu ruhukano omugemweji abo kuba hatiya itwe Isingiro tayo nupu ne yabayaye nupu ne nibabyeta nupu amaziganupu niko bakubeta n'abajandi nyo cyane se kwesimbaho nyenda kubagambira abantu ba Isingiro cyane ndetiye kwesimba ecyandetiye kwesimbaho nkarondayo umuntu otine butini utafutina munyo musupporting abo waka center kahoko kanje nkine ndi kubaza kusupporting umuntu konga abo kujangwa abantu baba intimidating babatere babasiba katambare bona bakaba bari aho basitami bayemuwe kwimuka kurudiga yo kugamba yona yeshoro naja ndeti myaka yanje yona badetinyine mani konga kanyemerere abana bandi barebera hari inyengu bateka kutina ensine yaabo biine kugirwanirira nayimuka nyonka resite n'ijana yesimbaho abwa MP ahabw'ekyo intimidation zone zabe ziriho a nomination day bakampa miliyoni abajyana nayo miliyoni 100 mwije nzibahe mutujoininge banange tuyambe ensi kuna abaremire omushiri obakweta rwamirama yatanga kutuma messages aha bakuru abo mu isingiro abaye bariyo bajya najya nti nobu nayeshereke naza kundeba nayikiriza najya tinyina handi ndakuvugane kongo ijo wanje omuka kubashiro bwire yijana amajege na kongo izayetorora zijomuka twasitama kanyesireyo omukutateo nawe yesimbireho abwa omuroko gavumenti ari aha n'omwana wanje niwe tutambura nawe naye tatwatamu obugufi twasitama twabarinda kyonka kubisire batushanga babure byokugamba babuze ebyokugamba bagenda nyenkyagayo batanga kuntera esimu ngwijamwe tuza kuhobwa president advisor n'ababuuza ntokumundeba nyo nishwana na forufiga timukubasa kumuku tinyine qualification zona ezikushwanisa forufiga ekikuru point n'abantu banje bayisingiro mureka kutiina nyo tino wanguzire tibari kubasa no kungura kandi nyamba nyongereyo kake abantu bayisingiro nyenda ngumba manyise hati ekirugiro kubyo nabyarema abijire mwena nimbareba nibijo wanje bari hakatambi konka tino kubasa kungura nimpurira makuru nigarabanga namu niyo bakangura munayo shereka ngunija kampani niyo tinyine price taga bagambire nkija abwanyu abana bato no baranyiheyo abo kubani batibandetiye petition ngo nibenda kunyihaho ngo abo kubatade wakasigninga mwe mirundi ebi naye buza echo excuse y'umukureta computer oba system ne basafutasia amazina abiri na tin nambemwe ne nambemwe mu computer so bari aho ni bazungazunga ekikwenda kubagambira abanominatingire uyimuke mu rugeyo imwe abanominatingire isingiro mugambire aba bari kumpa babira mubagambire ngo imwe ahabwe mubagambire ngo imwe bari kumpa babira ahabwe cyo mutakpa babira isi abo baniyo ya nominatingire ekanominatinga nendeba niwe rwasa sherifu niwe uri kumpa babira gendo hababire isi ekugambire ahabwenshi ba nominatingire asa bari kureba ngo tindayikizize bintu ebi government eri kwenda so omugufu anyenda kubashaba munyo mushabire nezo mwara nabo bahamuheru nabo kubangu nani nkora bwiri yanje abo kwani mayangu shahayona ni bantemaho abo wese nezo nanzangire every day nimbanye za meeting mutwara wa president of nese bandike mwezo uri kwenda yewe tinyine sente zini kwenda nyina abijukuru n'abakamu n'abana onasho mugiye generation bari yari bate bintu bitakuruga mukutu munyoni nye baguro obuchokoro bwase
our power NUP everywhere. I am by the name Ameni Obrain Sif, aspirant candidate for Toro County South. As you all know well that on the 23rd of October, that was the day when we went for our nomination. When we reached at the EC, that is in Tororo, I was failed that they did not nominate me. We made a petition to the Electoral Commission. We fought a war until we won that war. God helped me. We won it. I was led by the EC, that is Mr. Biabakama and the team. I did not show myself to people too much in Tororo because I knew of one thing. But of recent, when we went for a parliamentary debate, that is in Tororo with the incumbent MP and the other 3 candidates, I was contacted. They wanted me to defect from my party. I told them, no, I am a man. I am now 40 something years and above. I am not that sheep that I am supposed to be bought. He convinced me, not he, but my area member of parliament convinced me that, my brother, you leave that party, come to our party, we are going to do you something. I asked him, what something? That we shall give you some money. I asked him, if I've been suffering for the 40 years without that money, now you want to give me money today, what am I going to do with that money today? Yet I've suffered for 40 years. I denied his money and openly I told him, I don't need any money from NRM. Let them leave me to suffer with the poor money, the little money from the new party. I promised the people of Toro County South two things. One, the youth of Toro County South are there without jobs. Yet Toro County South will have enough industries, but our government has no policy to put in place to support our youth. I promised them that if we are given chance as if NUP takes over the office, which I'm very sure we are taking over the office before the end of this year or after election, we are going to provide them jobs and they are going to get jobs. In Toro County South, we don't have roads. There are no drugs in the hospitals. There is nothing like service delivery to the people of Toro County South. But with our NUP party has already given us the chance to tell our people that we are going to get all what we lack. Service delivery is going to reach to the people.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Thanks so much. And by names of Nadia Yusuf Onzia. I'm not a candidate, but I'm the General Secretary, National Unity Platform, Yombe District. Everything happening in the district, I'm always more than a candidate to what is happening in my district. I'm here to tell something similar to the candidates who have expressed what is happening in their districts. We have, in Yumbe district, we have 3 candidates for the parliamentary, especially in Yadu, is to intimidate those duly nominated candidates so that he can remain alone, as said that they should not support NUP. They had been intimidating all these candidates. On the 14th day of October 2025, our offices in Barakala Town Council have been raided by the security operatives. And on the 16th day was when this man, Museum 7, went to Yumbe. When they sent some security operatives, the husband to the Honorable Minister, they went and intimidated, threatened, and really clamped most of our candidates under the district executives from that side. They broke into the office at night on the 14th day. They beat up the landlord. Before that happened, they had to threaten him. They called him that they wanted to meet him. Why has he given his house to be misused by these enemies? He said he thinks in Uganda that they have freedom. So for him, he's making business. And his house he gave for business, not for any party. Even if they want, he had models. If they could bring him the money he wanted, he could still give the house for their offices. And after that, of recent, I received a call from the returning officer, Yombe District Administrator, asking me if I'm aware of what was going on, because he received 7 candidates, 6 to 7 candidates from Waringa East coming to denominate themselves not to appear on the ballots. I told him I wasn't aware, but I got one person who was an LC chairperson from one of the sub-counties by names of Kochi. That candidate wrote a letter, they designed a letter, they brought it to me, asking me to stamp on it. I should endorse it to go and nominate himself. When I challenged him, I told him, well and good, that is his right.
If he's ready to do it, let him now first compensate whatever the party spent on him. Because it was the party who nominated him, and whatever inspiration he got was from the party. If he's ready to do that, then let him do what? Compensate the party, then I'll come and do what? I'll endorse his letter to go and denominate himself. When I say that, I didn't have much ideas or advice to help those others, because whenever I do consult the leadership ahead of me for guidance, most times I get disappointed. I'm sorry to say this on media. For that case, I'm really very strong and confirming to you in Yumbe district, amidst all the intimidations and whatever is happening in Yumbe district, the umbrella is the one flowing. And the same office which they raided before the coming of our president, His Excellency Obini, went to Yumbe, the office was broken. Then he also had to go and open that very office, which was also raided by those people. So for confirmation, I'm confirming to you, it is national unity platform and the umbrella leading in Yumbe.
Of the emptiness and the dishonesty of the NRM regime. And the people of Uganda need to see them for who they are, a group that survives on propaganda and dishonest means. They have excelled in telling lies. The first lie was that NUP is only in Uganda. These testimonies are from West Nile, they are from Ankole, they are from Bukedi, they are from across the country. The second lie they told at the beginning of these campaigns was that NUP has failed to field candidates. But these are the candidates. And those that, but every day you see them fielding people, they say, oh, this one has defected from NUP, he has been a candidate. Self-defeating. The other aspect that people need to understand is that the reason why Uganda is underdeveloped is because the people who have been running the country are only focused on keeping power. The money that should have been used to build schools in Gogonyo, the money that should have been used to build hospitals in Madiokoro is being used to bribe candidates because NRM wants to retain power at whatever cost. And instead of investing money in serving the people, they're only investing it in one thing, keeping power. And I think these elections are an opportunity for the people of Uganda to look through these lies, the emptiness and the selfishness of the regime and vote it out of power.